Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is about heartbreak and what to do when your heart breaks. I feel like this is such a relatable conversation for so many people as we all go through it. We have situations where we feel like our lives have been turned upside down. I feel like heartbreak is not always just romantic too. It could be when you lose somebody close to you, which I've had happen to me on a few occasions. But I feel like it is the transformation that occurs from when your heart is broken is truly amazing. And as much as it hurts to be in that situation and to feel like your whole life's been flipped upside down, your test is tightening and you're just trying to, you're in so much pain. You just want it to end. You just want to be on the other side of it. You don't want to feel it anymore. That's why a lot of people will numb themselves with things, and I used to do that. But when you take the opportunity to actually sit with yourself and to heal and go through the process, and healing is not numbing it, not finding someone new to fill that space, to actually sit in the space with yourself and learn about yourself is truly amazing. Heartbreak, when you have your heart broken, it feels like someone literally physically ripped your heart out of your chest and threw it on the ground, and then it breaks up in a million little pieces. So then next thing you know, in a second your life is looking so much different, and you don't know where to go from that, because now you're in unknown territory where it's not familiar anymore. Now you're I need to start fresh. It's just starting over again. Every ending is a new beginning. But then you feel like your heart is just ripped out of you and thrown on the ground into a million pieces. And then you go and you try to pick it up like a puzzle, try to put back the pieces. But you can't, because some pieces were broken. Some snapped into even smaller pieces. Some went under the refrigerator. Some went, a dog took it. You can't put it back the same way and get the same image and reality that you had before, because now this person's gone. Now you're different. Now, because you've experienced this and you're going through it, you're not the same anymore. And that is truly, it's like that saying, you can't have the sweet without the sour. And that describes it perfectly, because you cannot, anything in life to grow, even with fitness, anything in life, to get to another level, you need to, how do you put this, go through pain. And you need to, that's why when you work out and stuff, you go until you feel your muscles ache. And that's when the magic happens. It's when you're starting to build the muscle. And that's the same with anything, to have a breakthrough, you need to have a breakdown, basically. And that's the amazing part about heartbreak, and the positive side of it. It's even though your heart's a million pieces and it's all over the ground and you can't put it back together the same way, something magical actually happens in this process. And with the assistance of loved ones, friends, family, dogs, cats, when I went through my heartbreaks, I relied heavily on my animals, because they were so loving and so caring towards me, and they can sense it. So there's so many times that I just I held them and I just felt so much better. But your heart is in a million pieces and you're trying to put the puzzle together and it won't fit. So then you start sanding the pieces down and you start maneuvering them, cutting little pieces off. And that's your inner work. That's you now going in, you're looking at each piece and you're okay, I need to modify this now, because now I'm creating a new image. And now eventually all of the pieces, when you're on the other side, will start to come together, and you look and you realize you're actually on the other side and you're in a completely different reality. One that maybe doesn't involve this person anymore. Now your routine has changed and you have to figure out how to fill that space on your own. And that is the most beautiful thing. And when you're in that space, it's so hard, because I think a lot of people feel this way too, is you're very nauseous, and you don't feel good. You're literally sick. You're heart sick. And it's very hard to be in that space and then to know and to encourage yourself that there is another side. And it's not something that happens like immediately and you wake up one day. Actually, you do wake up one day and you realize, but it's like little increments. It's like little, you get waves of griefs, and the wave is like, because it's like you lost someone, and the wave comes and it's at the beginning very heavy, and then it comes less and less, and it's less heavy. And it's not because the wave is less big, it's because you're stronger and you can handle that wave. And that's when you lose anybody. That's how grieving is. It's like a wave of pain, and then it goes away, and less the waves come. And sometimes, you know what? The waves, they stopped coming. You don't feel them, and then one day, bam, wave. And you're like right back at the beginning again. Or like something reminds you of that incident that makes you triggered and throws you right back into that pain. But you're just in a different place when you feel that version of the pain. You have a new perspective. You have a new understanding, so it doesn't hurt as much. But it's the same big wave. It's just you understand it differently. And that's the thing, is when you're going through heartbreak, it's an opportunity for you to find yourself, because now you're feeling completely lost. Like, now I have this routine where I was so used to this person being there, and now I have to completely change it. So it's basically like reinventing yourself. And it's a beautiful opportunity, even though when you're in the moment, you don't see it as that. Because nobody's thinking like, oh, I'm so glad my heart broke. But I will be honest, on my most recent heartbreak, I literally cried. And I was like, I'm so grateful for this heartbreak, because like, honestly, and the process was amazing. Like, I reconnected with, got closer with family, because my family was there, very supportive for me. I just was more appreciative the times I had alone. And I got closer with myself, and I got to know myself. And I think treating myself as like my person really opened my eyes on like what kind of love I was missing from giving myself. And the reason this heartbreak was very hard on me was because I lost myself during this relationship that occurred. But the thing about it was it was like an escape. Like, I was so unhappy with my life that I need to cling on to this person and their life and want to be so much a part of it, that when it was gone, I realized that I gave so much of my time and energy to this person. And then now, because they're gone, I have all this time and I don't know what to do, because I wasn't used to being alone. And it was amazing. It was amazing because, like, I walked 4 times in a day sometimes, but I got to know myself, and I got to actually sit in that space and actually find out who I was. So when you're going through a breakup, it's like a backwards, and then like a few steps backwards, a few steps forwards. And it's like your familiar patterns will keep replaying, and you'll feel like that pull, like I need that person and stuff. But then once you finally, like, little by little each day, it gets a little easier, and maybe you think of them a little less. And it's not something that happens like this. It's literally little increments throughout this period where you start to think of them less, or it doesn't hurt you as much. And then one day you realize that it doesn't hurt at all anymore. And that's when you're on that other side. And that's the thing, is the best way to get over a breakup is to start recreating and rebranding yourself and create a new identity for yourself. One that does not, when you're like creating your new identity, you have to like basically create new routines. And because you're so used to spending time with this person, how your life is, when they're gone, you have all this space now to, do your own thing because you have to. For me, I spent a lot of time upstairs in my bedroom, and it was amazing. And I had my book that I was reading, I had the book I was writing, and then I had my journal, and I would just cycle through them and keep working a little bit on all of them. I had a lot of moments where I was just sat with myself, and I just thought about what it was I wanted in my future. I also tried a lot of new things, and I would start doing new recipes to keep myself busy. It's such a beautiful opportunity when you have a breakup or you're going through loss to, after you know, the first like 3 weeks, it's very like traumatic and very, very hard. And you got to let it out and you got to cry and you got to really feel it. But then once you're past that and you start to like be able to eat it a little bit more and you start being able to make different choices and actually like get back into the swing of things, just find things that you always want to do and start doing it. And honestly, just fall in love with your life and just, you know, give yourself affirmations, do self-care, do a lot of self-care. That's what I got really big into also. I was like doing hair masks, you know, face masks, just, you know, really take care of yourself. I went and I bought some new outfits for myself because I was like, you know what? I don't want to be this version of myself who allowed this treatment. I am going to, you know, I started getting my hair cut because I used to cut my own hair. That was not a good phase for me. Actually, it didn't look bad because you couldn't tell because of the curly hair. But then when my hair was straight, you could tell. So I could never straighten it. But now I don't cut my hair. But I went and got my hair cut. You start doing things to make yourself feel better, to make yourself to have a different routine. Wake up earlier. Go to bed earlier. Unplug your TV. Go for walks if you don't go for walks. Join a dance class. I am now in a dance class that I have been doing since January. Absolutely love it. It's a heels dance class and it is like so much fun. And it just makes my soul so happy. Like that's the thing. You got to get out there and you got to just recreate a new life for yourself without this person because it's their loss anyways. And that's the thing and the beauty of a breakup, to be honest. And when your heart is broken, because when your heart is broken, it's like it rips it open so that something more amazing can come in. And I'm telling you, once you're on that other side, whew, it gets so good. It gets so good. And you get so much happier and you get so much stronger. And it is an amazing feeling. So hopefully this video helps anybody who's going through a heartbreak. And yeah, that's all I have.